On Facebook,
Perfect.
and we are here on Zoom. Oh, hold on, you can't see me. I thought you were able to see me. I'm so sorry.
There we go. Uh,
Okay, so I want to say hi and welcome everyone that's joining us here through Zoom and through Facebook Live. Today is May 22nd. And we're going to start our week with the right feed, and we're going to start with our weekly webinar. We have with us here Angela Rodriguez, who's going to talk to us about products, tech tips. She's going to give us all of this like really juicy and helpful information to help our business grow. So make sure that you have a notebook, piece of paper, pencil, pen, or I don't know if you write your notes on your phone, iPad, etc., so that you can put all this in practice. And so, let's start. Hi, Angela. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Cynthia. So let's start off with our agenda for today. We're going to do a product spotlight. Oh, shoot, I forgot to change that on our agenda. Sorry about that. We're doing a product spotlight on the oral care mouthwash. Then we're going to talk about some resources that are available in the consultant app and talk about a broader view of self-care and how to talk about that with our customers, how to recommend use products and demonstrate what we use in our own self-care routines. We will talk about some tech tips. We're going to go over tips for social media in general, as well as how to save and share media using our consultant app. We've still had some questions about that. That's something that people tend to struggle with. So we're going to go over that one more time. We'll continue with our stories challenge of giving you more ideas for things to post every day in your social media stories. And then we'll finish up with our call to action and some of those time sensitive reminders. So let's talk about oral health today a little bit. I know that this is something that a lot of people are concerned with, because when we smile, when we talk to people, that is kind of like their first impression of us sometimes. We want our breath to smell fresh. We want our smile to look healthy. And there are a few factors that affect our oral health, like bacterial plaque or tartar buildup, which is usually visible on our teeth. Unhealthy gums. A lot of people start getting gum recession and things like that if they haven't been able to control the bacteria and its effects on their gums. And cavities, obviously, when food gets built up on our teeth and causes cavities. But one of the biggest factors that people notice when they're having issues with bacterial plaque, unhealthy gums, cavities, etc., is they notice bad breath. And even when they're brushing their teeth and things like that, they feel like that doesn't go away. So we want to talk a little bit today about the oral care mouthwash with Sanical and Melissa, and some of the benefits of that. Because that's on sale this month, we want you to be able to share it with specific details and really build its value for your customers. So some of the benefits of this mouthwash is that it protects the natural balance of your oral flora, so your body's natural, defense and balance, neutralizes the acids that destroy our teeth enamel. It strengthens our gums, helps relieve canker sores and mouth sores, prevents cavities and gingivitis, and provides long-lasting fresh breath. So we have a lot of different extracts that are working together. You might recognize mint, which is something that a lot of people already will put a couple of drops of peppermint in water and swish for fresh breath. Now we're adding some other powerhouse ingredients to help with that. So the essential oils and natural plant extracts are going to work together with sodium bicarbonate to disinfect and eliminate some of those problems with plaque and tartar, gingivitis, issues with our gums, etc., and that bad breath causing bacteria. It's going to stop the acid that is produced by bacteria when food residues decompose, especially like carbohydrates like sugars and things like that. Stimulates saliva production to avoid dry mouth. You might notice that some of your customers who take antihistamines on a regular basis, like for their allergies, they might have issues with their eyes feeling dry, their mouth feeling dry, and this can help with that dry mouth feeling. And also it prevents the accumulation of bacterial plaque that result in swollen and receding gum lines. And that can cause a lot of sensitivity and other issues. So what makes this unique? How do we talk about this product with our customers to help build its value and show them that this is different than like the big bottle of blue stuff that they might buy at the grocery store, right? So what makes it unique? It not only freshens breath, but it also has that deep cleaning effect to eliminate bacteria, so that we're getting right to the source and relieving that, because that bacteria causes all kinds of issues beyond just bad breath. It does not mask bad breath odor, it eliminates it. And kind of help your customers imagine what it will feel like after they use it. So it feels like they just had a professional dental cleaning. When they run their tongue over their teeth, they feel smooth and clean. And it gives your smile that shine and smoothness, right? So we want our teeth cleaned and their best presentation. And another thing for building the value of this product with your customers is talking about the yield of this. So this comes in a 50 ml bottle, right? That seems like a smaller amount of product based on the big jugs of mouthwash that your customers might be buying at the grocery store, for example. So remember that those big jugs with the blue stuff, like those have that has a lot of water in it, right? And this little bottle is like the concentrate that we add to water. So sometimes people will say, oh, that's a really small package, but you have to tell them about the yield and the high concentration of the product in that bottle. So when our customers are using this, it should be kids 6 or older and adults that can spit the product back out. No one should be swallowing essential oils, right? So they should be swishing and then spitting out. So 6 or older is the recommended age for that. You'll have your customers put 7 to 10 drops of the mouthwash solution into just have a small cup of water. They don't need a lot in it. They rinse and gargle vigorously for at least 1 minute. That is the time it takes for that bacteria to really be eliminated. And then just remind them they can use it after every meal. They can use it multiple times a day, but they should never swallow it. Okay. And when you're talking about yield with your customers, that 50 ml bottle has about 2,000 drops, which means about 10 drops per application, 200 applications from this one little bottle. So definitely use that information. You don't have to throw it all at your customers at once, but make sure that they know that it's a concentrate that they will be adding to water and getting a lot of use out of that 50 ml bottle. Okay, so any questions about the oral care mouthwash, go ahead and let us know in the chat. But I highly, highly recommend getting this for yourself as well. It has a great deal this month, and we want to share it with customers and have it here to demo for them. Okay, so our consultant tools that we're going to talk about this week are some training videos in the consultant app that not everyone is aware that they are there. And also keep an eye on these tools that I'm showing you right now, because in the next week or so, you're going to be seeing an additional influx of materials in these areas that you'll be able to access. So when you are in your consultant app, there are a couple of different places where you can find helpful resources to keep learning and growing with your use business. The training button on your consultant app has these little modules that you can go through. They're really quick. It'll tell you when you've completed them. You get the little numbers to show that you've done them. So that's a really quick resource that you can send to your new consultants or anyone who's asking questions about the basics. There's lots of videos and visual support that help with that training. Also, in your resources folder, you will find that there is a folder called Short and Practical Trainings. There are also folders for different products, etc. So you'll go through those folders and you can find lots of resources that way. So Short and Practical Trainings right now, you can see the business side of the training will tell you how to set up your direct deposit, how to share your personal link on Instagram, etc. And the product training folder, like this is really cool. I like the product training one because you have videos for how to do a quick demonstration on things like 31 herbal oil, anti-stress, the body balm, etc. You also have access to the quick demonstration guides that a lot of us use like in paper form when we are explaining products to someone for the first time. So just make sure that you are aware of those folders. You can always search topics in your resources folder, but here you'll be seeing some more things added in the next week as well. Okay, and then we also wanted to share some ideas, kind of like background information about self-care and all the different things that it encompasses, because we as use consultants tend to share the message of self-care with a lot of different people, right? For a lot of us, it is our why. You see a lot of people struggling with stress, not taking very good care of themselves. They can't sleep at night. They're feeling overwhelmed all the time, and we want to help with that. And we know that use can be really powerful. Aromatherapy can be really powerful for those things. So when we're talking about self-care, can you go ahead and share in the chat with us, what does self-care mean to you? How would you define self-care to someone who came up and asked, like, what do you do? And you start sharing that main purpose of your use business. Let's see, I think the chat is enabled. I'll wait just a moment if anyone wants to share in there. What is self-care to you? How would you define that in your own words? I'll try to keep track of that here. Okay. So when you go to like a dictionary definition of self-care, it's just the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. So self-care is not just for people who are feeling stressed and overwhelmed, it is for everyone. It is something that helps us take time for ourselves. Yes, thank you in the chat. Take time for ourselves, incorporate routines that help maintain our health before things get to a point where we have issues with our health. But it's preserve and improve our own health. And we dedicate specific time and routines to that practice. So there are a lot of different areas in self-care. One of the first types of self-care is physical self-care. So that's getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night, having a balanced diet, getting regular exercise, time for rest and relaxation, doing things that bring us joy. Now, I want you to do just a quick moment of reflection. What are some used products or routines that incorporate this physical self-care? I feel like to this list, we could add like skincare, right? Skincare for our face and body. Physical self-care could even be like Deo Intim for keeping our pH balance, things like that. Ooh, the foot care line would be great for physical self-care, like where we're taking care of our body, right? We're taking care of our skin and our body, so that our feet, for example, with the example from the chat, our feet would be relaxed and without calluses, and it helps us feel better about ourselves, right? Okay, so physical self-care. I also am thinking of like Gardenia Nights and anti-stress and Melissa and things like that can help just for like the getting enough sleep at night, relaxing. Essential oil products can help us get a better night's rest. Okay, so emotional self-care. Now this has to do with on an emotional level, accepting and expressing our emotions, developing healthy attachments, improving our resilience, maintaining our best attitude, defining goals that we want to accomplish and our priorities throughout our day, and setting aside time for ourselves. So that's kind of our emotional self-care. Can you think of a used product or a used routine or demonstration that you could use to talk about this part of this aspect of self-care of the emotional well-being? Again, I will keep an eye on the chat. What comes to mind? This should hopefully be giving you lots of content ideas for things that you can share with your customer base as well, and on your social media. You know, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of emotional self-care is the anti-stress blend. When we're feeling overwhelmed and we need to train ourselves to like, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I need to take a few seconds for myself, a few minutes, even if you can, to do something like apply anti-stress, take some deep breaths and get your brain kind of back to its regular neutral state. Anti-stress, harmony blend. Thank you. So yes, this is like one of the things that we do best with the youth, right? Is that taking time to kind of regulate emotions, and it's okay to feel them. It's okay to identify them and express them, but we also sometimes need to like do something to feel better so that we can continue on with our day, right? Especially those of us who are like moms and full-time workers and things like that, or anyone with lots of responsibilities, those things add up, right? Okay, so another aspect is social self-care. Now, this is cultivating healthy relationships with people, living empathetically, asking for help when needed, distancing oneself from toxic situations, positive social media activity, not getting sucked in those negative rabbit holes that sometimes exist on social media, and having healthy limits with social media, etc. So what comes to mind for you when we're thinking of social self-care, in terms of demonstrating a used routine or demonstrating a used product? What comes to mind for you all when you see something like this? I'll wait for the chat. one thing that comes to mind for me with my used business is that I try to be a healthy relationship for people. I try to be someone who helps to cheer them up and help them find solutions for things that they are struggling with. I try to be that helpful friend for people that I meet. I'm constantly meeting new people, sharing my phone number, setting up play dates, sharing samples with them, things like that, so that I'm always building my network and just being a really positive influence for people. Um, let's see, I try to share with my youth business, like on my social media groups, I try to share tips and things like that, for our products and beyond, right? For how to just take good care of ourselves and put ourselves forward as a priority. I'm waiting, I see. Say if you have any other ideas, go ahead and add them to the chat. Okay, perfect. And then another aspect of self-care is spiritual self-care. Now, spiritual can be a lot of different things. It could be religious. It could be more of an energy-based thing. It could be more like just taking time to reflect. So spiritual has a lot of different facets, but things like daily meditation and reflection, spending time in nature, reflecting on the beauty around us, having a gratitude journal where every day you're writing at least 3 things that you're grateful for. That if you do that for 21 days, it has an enormous impact on how your brain works. So it's so easy. And just writing in a gratitude journal for 21 days or more can change the way your brain is, like its habits of how it sees the world. So positive affirmations, that's another one, being able to explicitly express positive things that you are worthy, that things that you deserve in your life, can make a really big difference on how your brain sees the world around you. Connecting your values to what truly matter to you. For some people, it's prayer. For some people, there's so many different ways to describe spiritual self-care. I'm thinking, okay, so again, used products that relate to this aspect of self-care. For daily meditation, the Harmony Blend, I know we already mentioned that in the chat, but that's one that really comes to mind. But I feel like when I have my customer base in social media, I try to include a lot of these tips and incorporate them with like an essential oil that they could use during that time. So maybe spending time in nature. We could talk about the lavender cream for all those bug bites that come with that time spent out in nature. Okay, so self-care is a topic that is very closely related to what we do. Here at Used, we have products that help in all these different facets of physical self-care, from skincare for our face and our body, from Deo Intim to the foot care line, etc. We have a lot of aromatherapy options for helping with the emotional side of things, and that accompany spiritual well-being as well, all the activities that we take part in for spiritual well-being. And we get to be that healthy social interaction with people. For us too, it's very fulfilling to go out and help people feel better all the time, right? So self-care is deeply embedded in what we do. And it's so important. It's like a buzzword now, right? Like everyone's talking about self-care because it has so many benefits. So it strengthens our self-esteem, saying, I deserve time for myself. I deserve to feel good. I deserve to do things that are kind for myself. That really has a big impact on our self-esteem. And it takes a little while to learn how to do that. And you need a cheerleader like your used consultant to help boost you through that sometimes. Improve adaptability to new situations, to new stress, to life changes, etc. Better stress management. That's a big thing that we do with Used as well. Having a more optimistic attitude. That makes me think of like bergamot, lemon, things like that boost our mood, Guducci, things that boost our mood and help us feel more positive. Better productivity and performance. I know a lot of people too who have headaches during their workday because they're tense during their workday, but they apply 31 herbal oil and they're able to be more productive. They take time for themselves, get their brain in a good space again, and then they can continue on with their day and just better quality of life, right? So it's definitely always a good investment to take better care of ourselves in the long run and to prevent some other health issues that sometimes come up later on. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some ideas of how to talk about self-care, how to connect it in your content with your used products, but also giving people just real life tips on how to take better care of themselves and just give them those gentle reminders of how important that is. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll move on to our tech tips. So we want to talk about saving and sharing media from the consultant app. Like I said, that's just been something that people sometimes struggle with, of like how many clicks, like where do I click to get it to save, to share somewhere else, etc. And before that, we wanted to share just some tips for social media. You'll see these in your weekly update email that just came out. So these are just overall tips for social media. And then I'm going to give you the tools from our consultant app to be posting and sharing content there as well. So first, create content that generates conversation, since conversations are the currency in social media. So many pieces of the algorithm are based on interactive. How are people responding to content? Are they liking it? Are they commenting, etc.? So it's kind of the basis. It's like the currency of social media. Share only the content you feel comfortable with. So it's your personal brand that you're putting out there. So you want it to have the tone and the message. And you don't have to sell every single product available with you. You can focus on things that fit your brand, and that's okay. Publish meaningful content. Who are you? How do the products integrate into your daily life? How do they meet other people's needs? We don't want to just like post sales. We always want to build value around the things that we are sharing, around the lifestyle that we are sharing, etc. Think and review before publishing. Be careful with what you share. Be careful with your wording, that you're using appropriate wording for what the products do and how they work. Make sure you're using correct spelling and punctuation. Make sure your tone is appropriate and professional, and things like that. Build trust and be honest always. Honesty is the foundation of trust. So you want to be real with your audience, and you want to have a brand that really reflects who you are and what your mission is with your business. Post with respect as it reflects who you are. Keep in mind the copyright laws. Do not create accounts pretending to be any individuals or organizations in which you do not have affiliation. Make sure your account has original, unique content that adds value to other users. Okay, so this is why we're going to start a Canva bootcamp soon. We want you to be able to create content on your own that represents your brand and adds that special, unique touch that you have for your business. And also, identify the usage policies of the platform that you are using. So there are different rules for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. Make sure you understand those overall rules and follow them accordingly. So, okay, so those are our overall tips. And then, as you know, we already have, oops, I skipped my animations there. So the content that we have available in our consultant app is really valuable and time saving for us. And in our next webinar, we're actually going to start talking about how you can create your own. So let's see, if you are in your consultant app, go ahead and click along with me and do an example. When we go into our consultant app and we click on resources, as you know, you have that resources folder that's divided into products and promotions and things like that, or you can use the search bar to look for things there. And after you choose an image or a video that you want to save to your camera roll, post to your social media, make sure that you're always choosing that option that says open. Okay, that open option gives us the Google file is open and it gives us more options for what to do. So then you will see that the little three dots at the top. That's your menu bar from whatever content you have open. This will be the same for videos and images. And from there, you're going to have this little menu pop up. And this is where people tend to get lost, right? Click on send a copy. Even though you're not sending it to anyone else, click on send a copy. And that's where you get this little list of options. And there you can go to save image, or if you're sending it directly in a message or something like that, you can use the little icons at the top for messages, Messenger, your social media outlets, etc. But for me, I tend to save them as an image to my camera roll, and then I can post them in multiple places afterwards. Yes? Any questions about that? Go ahead and let us know in the chat. I'll keep an eye on that just in case you need anything. Okay, so just remember that you click open to open the video or image. You click on the three dots, that's your menu, send a copy, and then you can save it. And then the image or video that saves on your camera roll is already formatted to post to your different social media outlets. Okay. All right, so then let's move on to our social media challenge, which is creating and strengthening your online community by posting regularly in your stories. Some of these ideas can be used for posts, but we're kind of directing them towards your stories. So those of you who have a Facebook account linked to an Instagram account, remember that we want you to go to Instagram, and have that post to both, because Instagram is the one that has the option to put like a product link on your content, etc. It has a few more options for those stickers. Okay, so here's your, go ahead and screenshot your calendar for this week of content ideas. So on Monday, post your 3 favorite products and why. Maybe it's 3 separate images, maybe it's 3 separate short videos, and you just post them all on like a series in your story. And you can put a direct product link right on those images or videos for each of the different products. For Tuesday, create a hook statement with an image or video that really grabs people's attention. So something like, stop doing this and try this instead, or I'm never going back to something. Now, remember that when we're doing these hook statements, we're not mentioning other brands, we're not mentioning other like specific products, but something that I do, like, stop drinking endless coffee and try this instead, or stop expecting coffee to make you feel better and try this instead, and then I'll demo Guducci or something like that. So those are things that people that stop the scroll, and people stop and spend more time on your content and want to get to know more about it. So what I would do is, like, I would do a series of videos or images in my story. The first one is the hook, and then the following ones give information in small, manageable chunks about whatever new routine you are suggesting. Yes. So, like, I would do, stop expecting coffee to make you feel better, and try this instead. And I would demonstrate how Guducci works, talk a little bit about how it helps our body release more endorphins, helps us feel better. Yeah. For Wednesday, share a photo of yourself and add text. You can maybe do something similar to the banners where you're saying, struggling with allergies, I can help, or struggling with mosquito bites already, I can help, things like that, things that you think are people's current needs that you can address with them. Yes, you're inviting them to start that conversation with you. Thursday, respond to a customer's needs or questions with a short video. So someone has responded to your social media earlier in the week. Here you respond to them and give a specific recommendation. Sometimes I'll even do, like, I've been emailing with someone who reached out to me from TikTok or something, and I'll just say, like, Alex, this is for you. And then I'll give the demonstration, right? So so I'm not giving that person's full name. I'm not, I just saying, like, I had a customer, or I can say, I had a customer ask me about this need and I just wanted to share it with the rest of you, and you give the demonstration for your larger audience. And then for Friday, demonstrate one of your short, simple use routines with a series of images or videos. So maybe you are doing like your morning skincare routine and you're showing like a picture of you with each of the products that you use and a little blurb about what each one is for, like something like that, where you're demonstrating your routine. Some of us are more comfortable with that in images, and some are more comfortable doing that in a video so that they can actually see what you're doing. Yeah. Go ahead and take a screenshot. Let us know if you have more ideas too for social media content. We're always happy to hear them and can add them for a later date. Okay, and our call to action for this week. So like we said, we're still in this social media challenge. We want to post daily to stories, to our social media, keep that algorithm active. Always encourage interaction, share direct product links wherever you can, and just try to build that community with your audience. And since a lot of us are going for those ambassador perks of getting the floral blends with the ambassador perks for consultants this month, we're working on $250 to $500 each week this month to get ambassador or ambassador gold status over the course of the whole month. Make sure you're sharing your favorites, sharing testimonials, adding complimentary products to your sales. What else complements that routine to build your sales and give your customers a better experience? And just break it down day by day. What do you have to do every day to be able to meet those goals? Okay, and so that is our new content for this week. Let us know in the chat, what was your favorite part of that information? What is something that you can apply to your business right away this week? And then we will wrap that up, and I'll go on to some of our other reminders for this month.